So I first started modeling in high school. One of my classmates needed to build her portfolio to apply to Parsons School of Photography, and she just loved my face. And for the next 2 years, she just followed me around with a camera in my face, taking photos of me. We would do makeshift shoots in her parents' backyard where her mom would do my hair and makeup. They would dress me up. And after that, I just knew that I really loved doing it, and it was something that I wanted to pursue later in life. I actually didn't register in the Style Week for Northeast. I had worked with Mike Yeager, a photographer, the head photographer for Style Week, for a little while. And he contacted me one day. I got a phone call and was like, "Hey, do you want to be the face of Style Week?" And I was like, "Sure, absolutely." I had heard Style Week in the past, and I had seen photos and seen the event before, but I had never been a part of it. And it's something that I had always wanted to do because it was the biggest, like, kind of small town New England Style Week. It wasn't huge like New York. It wasn't as intimidating, and I just started doing it every season after that. Oh my gosh, walking the runway is just like so exhilarating, you know? It's just, you get out there and you're in the zone. I used to do high jump in high school, and it reminded me a lot of that. You just had to focus on one thing and like channel this confident energy and just go for it. And when you do it, it's just this exhilarating rush of just everyone's looking at you, but you're gonna kill it on the runway no matter what. And if you fall, it's okay. You just get back up again and just keep going. Modeling advice for an aspiring model, I would definitely suggest throw all your doubts and insecurities aside, and if it's something that you really want to do, just try it. Go to a local agency, see what they say about you. Go to a bigger agency, see what they say. Just put yourself in those situations where you could get exposure. If someone likes you, that they could say yes, and that would be it. You could be a model, you know? I really felt like I wanted to go to New York, and I always have wanted to go to New York, but I let my insecurities and my doubts get ahead of me, and I didn't do it. Now I'm moving to Los Angeles, which is a totally different story, but I'm still like going, and yeah, I'm terrified, but I know now that I just have to do it, and it'll be okay in the end. My most memorable modeling experience was when I found out that a photo that I had taken ended up in British Vogue in the August issue 2017. I was in Kenya at the time doing volunteer work, and it was the best feeling in the world when, you know, you've worked so hard. I've been modeling for the better part of 10 years now, and finally, I just saw my photo in British Vogue, in the physical printed British Vogue, and that was like, if nothing else, like, I got in British Vogue, you know? I am in Vogue, and that was just such an amazing experience and just a great feeling. My worst modeling experience, I'm gonna probably say I've had two. I did this runway show a couple years ago, and the people that put it on just treated me like I was nothing, you know? They treated the models awful. They really didn't care, and it was all about the production and making money, and it really showed, and it put such an awful taste in my mouth. So that was one of them. And then my second one was probably working with a photographer who was really sketchy, you know? Being a young girl in those situations, you're not really sure what to do, and it was just like, no, like, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. Just leave me alone. And I ended up walking away and just saying, like, this isn't something that I want, but it's really uncomfortable, especially if you've never been put in that situation before. Being able to say no and just walk away, it's like you have to do it, and you'll feel really, really good after, but you just feel awful when you feel like you made a bad judgment call, and it's not necessarily your fault. It happens, but you have to walk away and just be like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this again. What makes a great model to me is someone who knows what they're doing, in that when practice your poses. It's so important. Photographers love it when you come in and you know what you're doing. You don't need a lot of direction. Sure, starting off, you do need some, and that's okay, but know your angles. Like, really work on that. And then have a good personality. That's one thing that I've gotten plenty of jobs because people have said, wow, KJ, I really liked her personality. She was really easy to work with, not a diva, wasn't like really over the top and high maintenance, and that to me is what really makes a good model. Ooh, if I could walk for any fashion designer, it probably wouldn't be some of the big names in fashion. It would be to walk for a well-known fashion designer who really focuses on slow fashion instead of fast fashion, and one who develops their clothes ethically and really helps the communities where they get their products from. One thing that I don't like about the fashion industry is that it is very much fast fashion, trends, like produce, and then what happens to all those clothes? They end up in a landfill somewhere. Like, are they really being used? Are they being sent to people who need them the most? Probably not. And that's one thing that I just not really about, which is crazy because I'm a fashion model, very much in this industry, but I hope later down the line it does change. My dream modeling gig would to be the face of some emerging brand, maybe like a skincare brand where I can really like love the products and be the face of it and just go to events and talk to people about skincare or maybe ethical fashion and just really share what I've learned over the years and be a good brand ambassador for something that I truly love and stand behind. I really would like to see some changes in the model industry that are more towards being a little bit nicer, One thing that I find in modeling is people can be really cutthroat, and there's a way to do that. Some people have it or they don't, and that's okay. But treating the person that you're talking to, that you're rejecting, like a human goes a long way. Another thing I would like to change about the modeling industry is the sample sizes. I definitely think that it promotes an unhealthy lifestyle for young girls who are trying to be a model. Even if an inch too big, a lot of designers will say absolutely not because they don't fit in their clothes, when in reality they can make their clothes an inch bigger and be a little bit more inclusive. There are too many girls right now who are struggling with anorexia, bulimia, all of these eating disorders because of what the fashion industry is really portraying, and it's not healthy. I've never had an eating disorder, but I've definitely looked at myself in the mirror and been like, oh, I'm a skinny girl, but I still scrutinize myself every inch because I'm like, these are what they want, and it's just not healthy. My favorite runway model is Natasha Polly. She just has this thing about her. She's a really square face, a strong jaw, similar to mine, so I've definitely kind of resembled with that. It was good. That, and she just has a strong presence. She's a mother, which is really inspiring. You can still be a mom and still walk the runway and still kill it, and she is my favorite. So my goals for modeling are definitely get signed with an agency still. I don't ever want to stop modeling. Even when I'm a grandmother and have a bunch of kids and grandkids, I still want to model. It's just something that I've done for so long and it's a part of me. But I definitely have other goals. I'm a web developer. I'm moving to Los Angeles, trying to get a job as a web developer for maybe a fashion or skincare company and model. My goal is to really show people that you can have a career and a creative side and be a model and successfully do both. I want to be best known for my jawline, for sure. I know I have a very strong jawline and a unique face, and I think right now that's really my selling point. A lot of people will hire me because of it, and I thank my parents, I really do. I look nothing like them, but it's their genes, so that is my face is definitely what I want to be known for. If I was had the opportunity to sit with a famous model, I would probably want to sit with Kate Moss just because she's been through it all, you know? She was a little bit shorter and they loved her face, and she was able to walk for so many people. If I had to ask her a question, it would probably be, how did you deal with all of the awkward situations and all of the really uncomfortable things that can come with being a model? How did you get through it? And I'm sure she would have a wonderful answer because she's been modeling for so long. But yeah, that's what I would ask. So you might not know this, but at the end of this month, I'm moving to Los Angeles. It is going to be a completely different market. LA and East Coast are totally different ends of the country. There's a lot of different things, you know. But I'm really excited. I'm trying to get signed out there for sure. I would love to work with a bunch of different e-commerce companies, fashion companies, skincare companies, really make a name for myself in Los Angeles as a model while still doing the things that I want to do in terms of career-wise, like get a web developer job, maybe show people in tech that women can do more than they think they can, you know? And I think that bringing the fact that I'm a model into tech can just be like, hey, you know, you can do both. You can do something you really want to do to make a good career and still be creative. I don't know, it's definitely going to be interesting. I just got married, so it's me, my husband, his friend, and his bandmate. We're all going out there, but I'm glad we're doing it because I've always been a little shy when it comes to just going for something, and this is the time where we're doing it. Like, I can't say no, I can't turn back, I just have to accept it and give it my all, and that's really what you have to do in life, is just give it your all.